the shape of this brush. So I tested positive for COVID this morning, and I don't know how I feel. I feel like it's been like a full week since I started to develop symptoms. It just started off with actually like a really bad sore throat and a cough about a week ago, and then the cough finally got better, but then I got a stuffy nose and headache and stuff, so that's where I'm at now. This is my third at-home COVID test that I've taken, and the first two were negative, so I thought it was just like a regular cold. I'm kind of bummed because I was supposed to go to San Francisco again, this time for my work business trip. We were gonna have like a team offsite in San Francisco. I just thought it would be like a good opportunity to meet my new team in person because I just transferred teams, so the timing of this was not the best. And I've honestly just kind of felt kind of weird ever since I got back from the first San Francisco trip. I've just kind of been a little bit lazier. I've been watching a ton of like Korean drama and K-pop content lately, and it's been kind of nice honestly to fangirl a little bit and just not think about my own life. This is my lunch. I'm having some angel hair pasta with some tomato sauce and shrimp and some steamed broccoli. The last episode of Business Proposal. Good morning, everyone. I am alive and healthy, and it is a beautiful sunny day. I feel like it's been so rainy for the past couple of weeks. I am finally mostly recovered from COVID, and it was honestly an unexpected experience. I think because for like the first half of me being sick, I didn't even know I had COVID because I was testing negative for the first couple of days. And it was kind of a bummer because I feel like the most recent times I've been sick, you get better within like 3 days and you're just back to normal. And I think from the start to finish of when I started experiencing symptoms and when I finally really felt like myself again was almost 2 weeks. So yesterday I ran to Sephora to pick up a couple of things from the Sephora spring sale, and I'm very excited to try them out. So let me just do a little haul and we'll do a little chatty get ready with me. Okay, so I did pick up one thing that wasn't from Sephora. I actually got it from Macy's, who was doing a little beauty sale, and I have been wanting to try a little Dior eyeshadow. This is the Dior Mono Couleur Couture Mono eyeshadow, and I got it in the shade Beige Mitza. So you guys know I'm really into like one and done neutral eyeshadows basically, and this one just looked really pretty. I think it might be a little bit more cool toned and taupey than what I typically like, but it looks really pretty. I think it'll be a nice everyday color actually. Very nice and reflective, but it's just such a beautiful little eyeshadow compact. And then from Sephora I did place one order. The online orders always take forever when they have their sales, but this one did come in. I ordered the Tan Luxe, the gradual illuminating gradual tan lotion, and I actually applied it last night. It's very subtle. I don't think you'll be able to see here, and I need to take a closer look at my body, but you can see a little bit of the difference in color here. Maybe it got a little bit patchy, but I definitely do like having a little bit more color in the warmer months, and I'm all about the low maintenance products. So yeah, I just bought this one to try it out. It seems okay so far. It doesn't feel too cumbersome or anything. It does have a little bit of that self tanner smell to it, but I think the application of the product seems really nice and easy. The product that I am the most excited about is the Rose Inc Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. I was debating on whether or not I should get it right now because Rose Inc actually had a really good Black Friday sale last year, and I was like, do I really need a product right now? But it just seems so perfect for the warmer months. I feel like I go back and forth between using like an all over kind of face product versus just using concealer. So I wanted to try something out like this again. A lot of people seem to really like it, and it just seems like a nice product. So I got mine in the shade 30, which is like the light warm tone shade, and it seemed like it'll be a pretty good match. This is a very sheer product, so I don't think you have to be too careful about your shade match. And then I also decided to pick up a foundation brush. I've heard really good things about the Rare Beauty brushes and the shape of them, so I decided to actually pick up their foundation brush, which I think I'm gonna use to apply the tinted serum today. It also just looks like a really nice brush to apply like cream blush and stuff like that. So I normally always use like a beauty sponge to apply concealer, my base products, but I've definitely heard that the tinted serum applies better with a brush, so we'll see how that goes. I am using a retinoid, so my skin is pretty flaky lately. I also wanted to pick up a contour product. I recently saw a YouTuber get more into using a like cream contour product, and because I've been watching a lot more Korean dramas and like K-pop and stuff, I feel like I've grown more accustomed to that Eastern style of doing makeup a little bit more. So definitely less heavy on the bronzer and more on the shading and defining. So I kind of wanted to try it out. I got the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Amber. The YouTuber that I watch uses the pan cream bronzer in Amber. They didn't have that one in stock in store, so I decided to just go for the stick. And the last thing I picked up was definitely an impulse purchase, but I have just been hearing multiple people talk about this K18 hair mask, and this was in the Isle of Doom at Sephora. So I think this is the mini version, and it was like, the mini version was like $30, so I figured I might as well just try out this small size and see how I like it. My hair is pretty damaged now from getting it highlighted and using heat on it
a lot more frequently since I've been using the Air Wrap more. So yeah, it's just a teeny little hair mask bottle. I think it says there's like up to 8 to 15 treatments per bottle, so not bad for a little travel size. And then lastly, I picked up my little Sephora birthday gift, and I just decided to pick up the Amika hair set. Okay, let's start trying out the products. I definitely want to see how the skin tint looks on. So if you haven't seen this product before, it's very interesting. It has like little pigment capsules inside the serum, and you kind of have to mix the product together to like get the pigment to spread out evenly. So I'm just gonna pump some on the back of my hand, and then you can see it's the texture. Okay, so let me go in with the brush. It's gonna be a little bit hard for me to multitask while trying out some new products. Ooh, I kind of like how this is looking so far though. It's definitely pretty sheer, so I feel like you would go through this pretty quickly, which is unfortunate because it is a pretty pricey base product. It's not covering up too much of the redness on my cheek though, but I don't know, it did just like make this side of my face look better. I don't know if you can tell. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, it was just kind of weird to be sick and out of commission for so long, and it wasn't like my symptoms were really crazy or anything. I started off with a cough and a pretty bad sore throat, and that persisted for maybe like 3 days, and then it got better. So there's some dryness around my mouth for sure, but I don't know if there's any product that would really make that look that much better. I am having to use a lot of product, which just makes me nervous, but I don't really go through entire bottles of foundation, so I don't think it's the end of the world. Also, I think Rose Inc is like a clean beauty brand, right? So that means that their products will actually expire more quickly generally. I can't tell how the color looks. I feel like it's not quite as warm as I expected. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more on my cheek right here to see if I can cover the redness a bit more. I do like the shape of this brush. It's just like really nice to get around things. Okay, overall, I think my skin looks pretty good. I'm not blown away or anything. I do feel like the color is looking a little bit off to me, but I'm not sure if it's just because I'm so close to the light. It does look kind of pale and pinkish. Sorry, as I was saying, yeah, my symptoms weren't like very severe or anything. I started getting more of like a stuffy nose, runny nose, and sneezing type of cold symptoms. That persisted for a while, and I think in general the fatigue was probably the worst part of it. I feel like normally I actually view getting sick as kind of a blessing, because for me at least it usually happens when I'm more stressed and tired and my immune system is just not as good, and getting sick is just kind of a way of like forcing your body to take some time off and rest and just kind of reset and get better. This time around I just felt really guilty and like felt really inconvenienced by the timing of getting sick. Knew I was like kind of wasting a lot of this time and wasn't really putting it towards doing anything very productive. I think my skin is actually looking really nice. I didn't really need to use much concealer at all, which is nice. Definitely looking a little flat right now, and I still think the color is just a little off, but maybe I'm just not used to having an all over base product. But then the other part of me just knew that like physically I wasn't really in the space or like a mindset to do anything that kind of required any effort of my mind or my willpower. I'm gonna just go in directly on my face. I'm just gonna put a little bit right there, and I'm actually gonna go in with my foundation brush to blend it out. Blend it out really easily. Okay, I like that. But yeah, I honestly spent a lot of time like just watching videos, watching dramas, and playing video games, and it was a good time to be honest. Like, I think my takeaway from these past few weeks of like being so out of my routine of what my life has been for the past like couple of years and months is just that I can enjoy life and be happy and still entertain myself without like going out or spending money or having to like eat or shop or do those things, which are usually my favorite things to do. And it was kind of nice just like spending that time not focusing on my own life, because I think a lot of the social media and content that I personally consume are like stuff that I want to incorporate in my own life, if that makes sense. But like watching more music and more movies and stuff like that, I don't really necessarily watch it and be like, okay, this is inspiring me to become a singer or like to make this big change in my life. It's purely for entertainment and purely for just enjoying what these people have worked for to put out for you. And that being said, I think kind of looking back on these past few months, like I can't believe it's April already. March really just flew by. It's also just making me think about like how I want to spend the next few months in the year, because it's already April, it's already my birthday month, which felt like it came up so quickly this year. And I think just looking back at what I've done for the past few months of 2022, I really want to just start exploring more and experiencing more and traveling more and doing stuff like that, just because I am the type of person that really tends to fall into a routine of doing everything and just kind of like staying home and relaxing every weekend. So I just feel like now that like the weather is finally hopefully starting to get better, it's still pretty cold, I just want to go out more and like use my time wisely and just spend my money on things that are like gonna make a difference and be fun memories in the end. I feel like the contour product was actually really easy to use. I don't know how much of a difference it really made because it just felt like it blended out so easily, but it was really easy to work with, and I don't mind the more contoured look rather than bronzed. I think I will just still go in with my Huda Beauty bronzer, which I have finally hit pan on. Ever so slightly in the center, you can see that I've hit pan. Okay, go. I think a number of you who follow me also watch K-dramas. It's honestly the only thing I've been posting about on Instagram lately. So I'm sorry to those of you who are not interested, but just because it's been such a big part of my life for the past few weeks, I figured I would just talk about the shows that I have been watching. I actually started off watching 39 with my boyfriend in the beginning of March or end of February, whenever it started to come out. I'm a big fan of Sonia Jin, and I watched like the first two or three episodes, and I thought it was amazing. I wanted to keep watching it, but my boyfriend went on his business trip, so we're like, okay, we'll just watch it together once he comes back from that. But I haven't picked it up since. Instead, while he was gone, I started Business Proposal, which if you guys follow me on Instagram, you already know how obsessed I am with that drama. It's sadly over now, so I don't have any new content to like really watch out for. But romantic comedies are my bread and butter. They're my favorite type of show to watch, and I just clicked on Business Proposal on a whim. So if you don't know, the main like plot of Business Proposal is that the male lead is this very attractive rich young man who needs to get married. His grandpa wants him to get married, so he sets him up on some blind dates, and he gets matched with the female lead's best friend. The female lead ends up going on the blind date in place of her friend. It turns out that the male lead is the company's president or CEO of the company that the female lead works for. So the show is all about how they meet and their relationship. And the first episode is like quite cheesy, but it's also very captivating, and I felt like really captures the energy of a lot of the characters. So I basically fell in love at first episode. I laughed so much. So yeah, it is like a very cliche storyline, but I think what made it so successful and made it so enjoyable is definitely the actors' chemistry, and I think the way that they portrayed the characters and brought them to life. Towards the end of the drama, I did go back and like start to read the comic version, and it truly doesn't even compare. Like, it was just a lot more flat and a lot more cliche reading it in the comic form, and just watching the drama is just so much better, so much more like realistic, I guess, and like relatable, and you just connect with the story and the characters so much more. So needless to say, I am a really big fan of the two main leads now. I also liked the secondary couple too. They had amazing chemistry, but I think maybe because of like my personality and my relationship with my boyfriend, I just like really grew attached and like fond of the main couple and kind of how their dynamic is. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking the show out. I think the last show that I really like blabbed a lot about on social media was Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. I think I didn't have like the best lasting impression of that drama, just because I didn't really like their relationship once they actually got together. And I think finales for Korean dramas are honestly just tend to be very weak across the board. But I feel like because I was just like so attached to the actors and the people in Business Proposal, like it didn't really matter how the ending went in terms of storyline. It was just fun to watch either way. Oh, and another thing that I actually really liked about the drama that I feel like is something that really isn't normally fleshed out in other dramas is that the female lead really had her own character outside of the relationship, and that her career and her friendships were a big part of her life, and she was good at it. Like, she was good at her job, she was close with her teammates, and I think that like also kind of made the relationship be a little bit more realistic because they kind of had that shared love for their work. Wait, I'm gonna stop blabbing about the drama now. I actually really like how the Dior eyeshadow looks. It's definitely not super warm toned, but it has a little bit of like a purpley rosy brown tint to it that isn't too cool toned, that I think is just still really pretty. Okay, the other drama that I watched was 2521. That drama was beautiful. It was really well done. I think the writing was incredible and the acting was incredible. It was just a beautifully told coming of age story. I love how it depicted youth, and the main character is a fencer, so it was just really cool to see her kind of go through that. I'm not as emotionally attached to it as Business Proposal, but I think it was a really well done drama. I think it kind of is up there with like Reply 1988. It has a similar vibe. I wasn't a huge fan of Nam Joo-hyuk before this drama. The only one I had watched was Startup, and I personally did not like his character in that drama, but he was phenomenal in 2521. I did create a My Drama List account, so I will link that below. I'm gonna try to keep better track of the dramas that I watch and maybe write little reviews for them. Here is the final makeup. It is definitely clean to the dry areas around my mouth, but honestly I don't think that's really the foundation's fault. It's also a little bit dry looking on my forehead. I don't think I needed to really go in with the second layer now that all of my makeup is on. I think for everyday makeup, just a little bit of that tint would actually be fine, but we'll see. Overall, I think my makeup still looks okay, and it's just the way it goes when you try new products. All right, I added some curls to my hair, and I think this is gonna be today's outfit. I'm so excited to finally bust out my Jerf Avenue blazer for the first time. I just feel like it's been so cold lately that it hasn't really felt right to wear it. Plus I've been sick and just not really going out at all, but I'm wearing it over a white crew neck sweatshirt today. And then I'm just wearing, as usual, my Levi's dad jeans. These are looking a little wrinkled. And then for bag, I've just been really wanting to bring pops of color into my outfits lately. So I think ideally I would have gone for some sort of like colorful crossbody bag or something, but this is my only colorful bag. It's my little green checkered crochet bag, and I think it looks really cute with this as well. So today I'm just planning on running some errands. I need to drop off some clothes at Beacon's Closet, and then I'm gonna meet up with a friend in the afternoon. Thank you all for getting ready with me.